Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the toe, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple, but wait. There's more. Go to our shows page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya as well. Woo. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us, sorry about that. If you're watching this on our mobile app, wait, come on, man. Don't tell me you didn't know we had, what? You didn't know we had a mobile app? Are you kidding? Come on, man. What is wrong with you? You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. All right, listen. Wherever you get your apps from, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter where you get them from. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Okay? So wherever you get them from, whether it's, excuse me. Sorry about that. Whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Venture, wherever you get your apps from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And where we at? We had a crazy day that day. Whoo, Charlie. Yeah, get down here. Now, if you're watching us on our Roku channel, man, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. Yes, we do, doctor. Yeah. So, if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's tile and put it smack dab in the middle. Download our channel. Put it in the middle of Netflix, Prime, Max, Hulu, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Everyone Plus, Stars Plus, Everyone Plus, Mama Plus. I don't know. Everyone seems to have a plus. Showtime. All right, do us a favor. Put a smack dab in the middle right there. Listen, if you have more than one Roku television in the house, do us a solid and download it to all of the televisions, the Roku televisions in the house. Just do us that favor. Just do us that favor. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZoneShy. That's CHI at SportsZoneShy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you, folks. Nice and easy. One handle. For Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we have a phenomenal show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, do us a favor. Leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here on the thread. I'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And you know what? That's what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, baby. Ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, don't sing it, baby. Just bring it. Let's see who we got here in the chat already. Vernon in the Mickey Ficky house. We need a new Rick Mahorn on the Bulls so we can have an enforcer. We'll be out for the rest of the have an enforcer would be out for the rest of the season. What? I don't get that. I went first. Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up, Papa? Appreciate tuning in. Levette Lee, she's in the Mickey Ficky house. That's what I'm talking about. Brian Hendren, he's in the house. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. My man Junior's in the house. What up, big dog, baby? Oh, here's my man, Michonne Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. Woo, Charlie, we got a party. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot. I don't. But I do know this. More of the usual suspects will be chiming in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can tell you. I don't know a lot about a lot, but that I can tell you. Listen, we have a phenomenal, when I say phenomenal, I mean phenomenal show for you. My mans and them. Herb Howard from the Bigs is going to join us today at 10 o'clock. And we have a lot to talk about. The Bears are preparing for their trip to Cleveland. They're leaving on Saturday. They usually leave Saturday after practice. And they'll usually leave Saturday and then stay the night, get ready for the game, that whole blah, 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 blah. All right. But man, Herb Howard is going to join us. A lot of questions surrounding this Bears team. Their play this year, their draft status, their play moving forward. There's a lot. So, apparently, 7 general managers, anonymously, of course, spoke to Yahoo Sports and said that they would trade Justin Fields, start over. So we're going to talk to our guy Herb about that. What would he do? All right, there's a lot of, you know what? It's really crazy how there's so many different thoughts on this. Where's Herb stand? So we're going to find out from Herb where he stands, because you guys know where I stand. You know where I stand. Justin is the dude for me. And I think he's, and I can't say, because here's what people say. He's earned it. Has he earned it? I think it's not a yes or no question. I think he's developed. I think the last 5 games are good. I seriously do think that they made the decision on Justin. I do think they are going to keep him. I just do. I just do. Now, the reason I say that is because when you have Justin's good. We all know that. This is nothing new. It's not breaking news. We're not telling you something you didn't know. But what you can do for this team with the haul that you're going to get for the first round pick, or for the number 1 overall pick, not just the first round pick, excuse me, the number 1 overall pick is going to be huge. I've been pretty consistent saying you don't need a great quarterback. And if you build up, think of what will happen. Because look, Jalen Hurts, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I think he's a great game manager. Got his team to the Super Bowl. Why? He had the best offensive line in football last year. Great running game, great protection, great receivers, great defense. Okay. And truth be told, I think Justin Fields is better than Jalen Hurts. I think Fields is better than Hurts. So if you give him those same types of weapons, again, the decision doesn't have to be made this year, because you can stack yourself up with 2 first-round picks. We have 2 first-round picks this year. We'll have 2 first-round picks next year. We probably have 2 first-round picks in 20. We have 2 first-round picks in 24, which is this year. We'll have 2 first-round picks in 25, which is the following year, and we might end up having 2 first-round picks in 26. I don't see Carolina or whoever's up there now, whoever we trade with, probably not going to have a great season and drop them down. We can get a lot of good quarterbacks next year if Justin doesn't work out. And the thing that I talked about, if you pick up his 5th-year option, now he becomes budgeted. He becomes budgeted. By that, I mean, you know exactly how much he's going to cost. So if you wanted to trade him, teams know, okay, do I have enough room under my salary cap? Can I make room? So that's my spot. But I want to hear what Herb has to say, and I want to hear what you have to say. Because I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people just saying, regurgitating the same shit. It's like, well, we can start the clock again. Don't worry about the clock. Don't worry about the money. They're like, well, it's great. Listen, even GMs, all right, stop thinking Justin Fields is a different type of player. He must be coached different. He has to be developed. And when people start to throw out numbers, well, his record's this, his record's that. Okay. That shows me you don't know football. And again, here's what I think. You know, Ryan Poles has said he's had a lot of discussions with Justin, especially in the offseason. You don't think this topic came up? You don't think this topic came up at all? Just like the topic with Coach Eberflus, like, we're going to gut this defense. Your defense is going to suck. It's going to pain you to the core. We'll build this team up, and in the 2025 season, we'll really evaluate you. I'm sorry, the 2024 season. 2023, we're still getting pieces together. We're adding things. That's what I think with Eberflus. What about Justin? I know he's got a clock, and you don't have this. You know, you could talk to his representation and say, hey, listen, I just need you to get better. Does he believe in Justin? I think he does. So just as you can be adamant about saying they're going to do this and this is what they do, No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what I think. Okay, I think they get a new, and people, even if you get a new offensive coordinator, if I get a guy, if the Bears get a guy who I know or we know has success in this type, in dealing with this type of quarterback, then yeah, I'm happy as a pig and slop. I'm happy as a pig and slop. But you know, that's how I feel, because this guy is going to be special. No, this guy is special. So let me tell you something. Let me ask you a question. When people are talking about, when players are talking about Justin Fields, when coaches are worried about Justin Fields, when everyone who's facing him or has to deal with him in the league is worried about him and talking and distributing the amount of praise that they are, when you have former teammates coming out and say, man, put him in the right system. You think I want to listen to an analyst who may or may not have played the game? You think I want to listen to somebody who's never played the game? Bloggers, podcasters who've never played the game? No. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with my gut. Now, the one thing, I will tell you this, the one thing that I am upset about with Justin, but it's more Luke than anything, is Justin's not tight. His dropbacks aren't tight. His reads aren't tight. All right? He is not, and this is all Luke Getsy. Either you coach it or you allow it. And because Justin has been doing this all year, he's been allowed to do this. When I went back and watched tape from his first year, which was Nagy's last year, when you watch him drop back, his dropbacks are 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, come up, throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come up, throw. Very rhythmic, very organized, he had a lot of tempo. Okay? Had a lot of tempo in there. Here, Justin gets it, kind of slogs back. Okay, that bothers me. This is timing, and your lack of urgency in the pocket bothers me. But that falls on Getsy. 85 to 90% falls on Getsy. The other 10 falls on Justin. Justin, you know your ass needs to get back. Stop playing around. They didn't let you do that at Ohio State. They didn't let you do that. But people keep thinking, oh, we got Caleb. I'm not sold on Caleb Williams. And someone put a highlight. Look how he can manipulate the pocket and get this. And I'm like, Justin's done the same thing. Oh, but he's doing it against, who was it? Stanford. Caleb Williams is doing it against Stanford. Caleb Williams is doing it against Arizona. Like, yeah, these defenses are a little better than Stanford and Arizona. I don't know. But my man Herb Howard's going to join us, and I'm fired up about it, baby. I'm telling you, 10 o'clock, we're going to talk to Herb. We got some Bulls to talk. We got some Blackhawks to talk. Woo. I like it. I'm telling you, I hope Pohl sees it the same way, because if you build around Justin, you bring an offensive coordinator in here who can just clean up some of his things. Just clean up. Wow. It's going to look like night and day. It's going to look like night and day. I told you my scenario. All right? I told you Arizona wins one more game, they drop the fourth. Bears, Pats, Commanders. The Commanders jump up to 1. Or the Pats jump up to 1. Doesn't matter. Commanders jump up to 1. They can drop to, and the Bears drop to 3. Now they can say, well, the Commanders get their quarterback. The Patriots get their quarterback. The Bears get Marvin Harrison Jr. The Bears get a haul for that pick. Cornelius, you make a great point. But which one of those quarterbacks takes it to the house when the play breaks down? That's phenomenal. That's a great point. It's a great point. Like this is an added feature that Justin gives you that most quarterbacks don't. And when people say, because what it looks like they're doing, it looks like they're trying to build what they had at Ohio State. So you have two stud receivers. Remember, he threw to Olave, he threw to Garrett Wilson. Who was the other kid? Marvin Harrison was just like a freshman, if even there. He had like three stud receivers to throw to. So you can sit back there and pick apart defenses. Okay. Well, get him that same talent. Get him that same talent here. You got DJ Moore. There's one. And you know what? I don't know about you guys. I'm expecting a huge game from DJ Moore. Huge. Why? They like to go man. It's going to be a big test. Big test. It's going to be a big test for these boys. And one that I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see Darnell Wright. I'm anxious to see Braxton Jones. We're going to move Myles Garrett around. Nasty Nate Davis, I got to have a much better game than you. Tevin Jenkins, man, move him over to Tevin's side. I want to see Myles Garrett and Tevin. They're going to move Myles Garrett up and down the line. I want to see Myles Garrett and Tevin Jenkins. I want to see Myles Garrett and Darnell Wright. These are some nasty son of a guns, man, and I'm anxious. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, guys, you know how we do. You got me fired up already, baby. I'm fired up. Guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yay, yay. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's see. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? I know where we're going. Bulls. Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls. The Bulls with a big win yesterday. Down in South Beach, baby. 124 to 116. Whoa. I like it a lot. Kobe White. What is up with my man? 26.7 boards, 11 assists. Nikola Vucevic, 24 points, 12 rebounds. Io, 24 points, 8 boards, 5 dimes. DeMar DeRozan, 23 points, 5 boards, 4 helpers, excuse me. This team is moving the ball well. I was a little concerned. They had a 25-point lead early in the first quarter. Early in the first quarter, and they couldn't hold it. Miami came back. But the Bulls were resilient. There's something about this team. There's a little more confidence with this team right now. A little more confidence, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Okay? So Stacey and Adam were talking yesterday in the broadcast, and you know, we're looking to trade Zach LaVine. Remember, they said he's going to be out 3-4 weeks for inflammation. Ain't no goddamn inflammation going to take 3 to 4 weeks to subside. None. You didn't break your foot. It wasn't a foot transplant. It wasn't a high ankle sprain. It's all bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors because they're trying to trade him. So here's the question. What do they do if they can't trade him? Because obviously they're having problems right now. Nobody wants that contract. The Bulls will want to eat. Most teams are probably saying, okay, you got to eat so much of that contract. The Bulls are like, yeah, we don't want to do that. So what happens when Zach LaVine comes back? What happens? Does Zach LaVine conform to playing Billy Ball? Because I'll tell you what, Billy Ball looks pretty damn good. Kobe White, all-star. Kobe White, all-star. I don't know if you heard me. Kobe White, all-star. Does Zach conform? There's going to come a point in time where the inflammation is finally going to subside. The inflammation can't stay there all year. So, what does he do? He's sitting on the bench. He's watching this team play well. He's watching Patrick Williams play well. He's watching Kobe White play well. He's watching Ayo DeSumo play well. He's watching DeMar DeRozan change his game to adapt to Billy Ball. Does Zach LaVine adjust? That, my friends, is the $1 million question, or the $200 million question. Because if you adjust, if Zach LaVine adjusts and we continue to play this style of ball with Zach LaVine, hold on, player. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas, and I like that kind of party. I like that kind of party. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So, let's see. What's the next top of the morning topic? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? The Blackhawks. Man, it's tough. The Blackhawks fall to Seattle Kraken. The Kraken out in Seattle. Whoo, that was a late one. That was a late one last night. They're on the left coast, so they started at 9:00. He falls 7-1. Soderblom stopped 17 of 24 shots before he was replaced. Tyler Radish, he got his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Beauvillier, his 7th helper of the season. And we know it's tough, man. It's going to be tough with this team. It's just tough. It's just tough. They're young. They're rebuilding. They got a superstar. They're just not that good yet. It's just games like this are the games that types of games that we really that the Blackhawks have to keep to a minimum. They have to keep to a minimum. Okay, 7-1. It's not a pretty look. Not a pretty look. I'm just saying. 7-1. That's an ass whooping. That's an ass whooping. So we'll see. We'll see how. Let's go, boys. You know, it's. I don't know. Well, at least the Bulls. Did I put that in there? I don't know. Let me see. We can go back to the Bulls for a second. And how cool is it? I don't know if it's cool, but yeah, I didn't do that. Oh, okay. So the Bulls tomorrow. This is a weird thing. This hardly ever happens. All right, and I don't even get it, but hey, whatever. So the Bulls played the Heat last night in Miami, as we said, and we beat them. However, the Bulls play the Heat again tomorrow night in Miami. All right, tip-off is 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago on the TV side, and you can listen to it at 6:70 a.m. on the radio side, their flagship station. So my question is, what did you do last night? Were you at Mango's last night? Because you got today off. You just got to practice today. You can go get crunk with it. I would have hoped that they would have gone out last night after the victory, got up, make sure they get their workout in today, chill tonight, play tomorrow, win tomorrow, call it a nice little South Beach trip. But very rarely does that happen. Usually it's home and home here and there, but that's usually with teams a little closer. But the boys got to go down to the South Beach for a couple of days. Man, let me tell you something. South Beach is crazy. If you've never been to South Beach, me and my Chicago Thunder brothers, boy, when we went down there for our national championship games, we were down there 3 years in a row. 2 of them for a national championship game. Should have been 4 national championship games in a row. We should have been down there. So in January of 06, we went undefeated, won our league, got invited to play for the national championship game. We went down and we won. After the 07 season, one of the guys, our friend, Ivan Malave, passed away. And there was talk, should we cancel the game? Should we not cancel the game? We decided to cancel the game against the Falcons. And we lost by 7, which ruined our record. Okay. But what happened is a team from Lima, Ohio, won it in the year. So January of 08. So then during the 08 season, we went undefeated again. We went down there. And the team from, and we beat them. We won a national championship again. In 09, we were undefeated. We beat this team in the playoffs by like 35-40. And they had to play us the next week in the first round of the playoffs. Well, we were up 35 points, and in the fourth quarter they scored. Our head coach was, God rest his soul, was arrogant, didn't put his starters back in. They had a really good passing offense. But our D line was just sacking this dude. We took the D line, took our starters out, and they started scoring. They recovered 3 onside kicks in a row. It was crazy. And the dude who came to record it from Ohio, because they had won in 07, we had won in 05, we had won in 06, they won in 07, we won in 08. They were heading to go back in 09. It was going to be us versus them. And he couldn't believe that we lost that game by 1 or 2. That should have been 4 in a row for us. But I digress. The times down in South Beach, from the beach to getting pepper sprayed, to getting in fights with the security, to throwing the lawn chair, the furniture, the patio, the street furniture, not street furniture, but the outdoor patio furniture, as we're walking, to creating our own club. Real quick story. So there was it the second year? Yeah, the second year. Or was it the first year? I think it might have been the first year. So we're at South Beach, and there was a promoter saying, hey, man, you know what? We got this club. It's $20. It was on Washington Street, so a street over. Ocean Drive and Washington, I believe, is the next street. And it's $20 top shelf. We're like, oh, okay, well, we're kicking it here. We're at Mango's, all right, hanging out here. Then that whole situation happened. And we're like, damn, what are we going to do? It's like, oh, we had all these flyers. Like, oh, we'll go to this spot. We go to this spot. I'll mind you, it's all of us. So we're talking like 50-something guys, maybe 40, minus the ones who got arrested. So we go, and we're walking, and our guy Corey, we call him Yada, is mad because we're kind of inebriated a little bit, and he's throwing all this. The chairs are stacked, the tables are stacked because it was at night. They're just stacked and put off to the side, and he's throwing them all as we're walking to this bar, like a block and a half. He's throwing this stuff. And we're all behind him as we're walking, just kind of picking them up and putting it back and picking it up and putting it back. And he's just making a mess like the Tasmanian devil. He turns around and he's like, what the hell? He couldn't believe that all the things that he had thrown and discarded, all the chairs, all the tables, we'd stacked them up. We get to this little thing. There's nobody in there. Only people in there were the staff. And we're like, what? Like, this ain't even jumping. And like, we look back and like, wait a minute, but there's like 40 of us. 40 of us, a couple of us picked up some girls on the way, like, hey, we're going here. And next thing you know, that thing was a party. It was literally a Chicago Thunder party. 40 of us plus a couple different groups of girls that we had picked up on our way walking to this place after we got pepper sprayed and some people got arrested out in front of Mango's. But now I know story. But I digress. Oh man, let's take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we have more sports to talk. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Very difficult assignments. Here's Alex Caruso, gets the bounce. Welcome back.
Won their second game.
He's had 2 good shooting games against the Bulls. Here's Caruso.
Oh, bang.
On Martin. Jump past Caruso into Vucevic. Nice maneuvering.
There you go.
Robinson covered him up. So he kicks to DeRozan. 2 defenders out on him. He spins a pass to Kobe White. 4-3.
Bang.
You see him working hard against Lowry. Nice pass by Williams. Adebayo, who does so many good things for this team. Good pass. Dosunmu to Vucevic.
Another good pass.
There's the double. DeRozan to White. Kicks to Dosunmu on the biggest night of his season.
Why not?
A dagger 3 by Dosunmu.
Wow.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Those were the Bullies last night, baby, down in South Beach. And, it's mango, like mango. Comer un mango. It's a, Junior, it's mango. I'll just say mangoes for I Americanize it for people, but who else we got? AC Adam, he's in the Mickey Picky house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. If you've ever been to Mangoes and the Clevelander, man, you know, oh yeah, right. Jackson Smith and Jigba, that's the other wide receiver that he was throwing to. I couldn't remember. So if you've ever been down there, been to South Beach and been to Mangoes or the Clevelander, wow. The Clevelander was another story. I'm telling you, I have to write a book. Within the next 5 years, that's on my to-do list, is I will write a book. Names will be changed to protect the innocent. Oh, good. Names will be changed to protect the innocent. But man, there's so many crazy stories from St. Rita, when I used to get chased, from the St. Lawrence Mixer, down was it 76th Street to State Road to Cicero, hopped on a Cicero bus to 63rd, waited by 63rd and Cicero to the bus home, to Holy Cross, to sneaking. I mean, the stories that I have because of football, spring break, my senior year at Holy Cross, dude, it's just crazy. Yeah, I definitely have to write a book. Unbelievable. I've been blessed beyond belief. Beyond belief. AC Adam just got back from Miami yesterday. Very nice. So did you hit Mangoes or Fat Willie's? Oh, so we went. My cousin told me about the Supermans down at, not Fat Willie's, Wet Willie's. The Supermans and Wet Willie's. So if you don't know what Wet Willie's is a bar, and all their drinks are slushies. Slushies, but they're spiked. They're all. What did I do with my? Oh damn! I left the phone over there. I had to make sure the warden was getting ready. She's getting ready to go to CrossFit right now. But anyway, Wet Willie's, and so it's all slushies. Ludacris raps about it in one of his songs over at Wet Willie's. So there's a lot to do on South Beach. A lot to do, a lot to see on South Beach. My man, Coach T in the Mickey Picky house. What's going on? Yes, dating a pirate. That story will be in there. That story will definitely be in there. And you know what? I'm not changing your name at all, Junior. People are going to be like, this dude's a damn fool. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We're having some Bulls talk, though. We are talking Bulls. Bulls are looking good. Bulls are looking good. Kobe White is ACM says I was hanging out at La Cerveceria La Tropical. Okay. This Bulls team is looking really good. I really like the flow. I like the selflessness of this team. It's exciting to watch. They won 4, they lost 2, but that was a nice win yesterday down in South Beach against Jimmy Butler and the boys. If you saw at the end of the bench, you had Joakim Noah and Carlos No Hairspray on Boozer yesterday. But you saw DeMar. You've seen DeMar change his style of play. All right, this team is up and running. Dude, Kobe White, someone said this, and I sat back and wondered. Someone said this, and it made me think. Could Kobe White be the next Steph Curry? Steph Curry didn't become Steph Curry until he was 25. Mark Jackson was there. Remember, Steph Curry got hurt. All right, there was talks of trading Steph Curry from Golden State. Do you remember that? A lot of people forget. Steph was having a rough time before the Golden State Warriors became the Golden State Warriors. You know, that was the whole thing with the Nike thing where they left. I forgot. They went to present to him and they left another. They literally just copied and pasted. They were going to copy and paste his name over because they had the same presentation for another athlete, but they left it, the other athlete's name on there. Can Kobe White become? I don't know. I hope so. And if he's not at Steph's level, get pretty close to it. Because first of all, Kobe White's much taller than Steph. Kobe White's like 6'3". Steph is, it's about the same height. I stood next to Steph at the Under Armour store when I was doing security back in 15, 16. Does he have that killer mentality? I don't know. I think so, but it would have to be on a different level. So let me say this: he's got it now, but to get to the level of where Steph is, or Steph was, where Dame was, you got to take it up a notch. Can Kobe be that dude? I don't know. He's definitely got to work on his handles. I mean, it's got to be. AC Adam, when you're talking, Kobe is equal to or better than Trey. Oh, yeah, no, he's not even equal to. He's much better than Trey Young. And Trey Young's good. I'm not disrespecting Trey Young or taking a shot at Trey Young at all. I think Kobe is just, this year, he's proved to be much better. No disrespect, no shot, no shade, no nothing at Trey Young. Not at all. I think this is a situation where Kobe can really. Now you see why they kept Billy. Now you see why they extended Billy. Kobe can really take his game to another stratosphere, not a level, another stratosphere. Because he was taking 27-footers, 28-footers yesterday and splashing them. Like, damn. Splashing them. You know, it's like, let me see, what was he shooting? I said I left my phone over there when I was talking to the warden. I'm trying to see what he shot from 3-point line. Look at even Ayo, 24 points, 10 for 12 shooting. This team gets up and down. And wasn't that what I was saying? Wasn't that what I've been preaching this whole time? These kids are young. Let them get up and down and go. Why are we holding them back? Why are we letting ball-dominant players take control? And you're oh, I left it here. It was right here. Why are we letting ball-dominant players get it, make the offense stagnant, and now we're taking one of our weapons, and that's the athleticism of this young team, away. We're literally stopping ourselves from scoring. We're literally stopping ourselves from being a run and gun team. We're stopping ourselves because Zach has to have the ball. DeMar has to have the ball. See, DeMar's a veteran. And he saw the writing when he was out for a couple games. Like, oh, shit. These guys are balling. And DeMar's like, all right, well, let me get in where I fit in. Which is the way you have to be. Kobe's defense puts him on par with Trey Young. You don't like his defense, Cornelius? Let's talk about Alex Caruso was back yesterday, then left. Got hurt again. Like Alex Caruso. Can this guy ever stay healthy? A rhetorical question because he can't. We haven't seen it yet since he's been here. Alex Caruso can't stay healthy, man. He can't. And that's an issue. I love him. I think Bulls Nation loves him. Bulls Nation loves him. I remember there was a girl I was talking to a couple years ago. We were just hanging out, and she was saying, she goes, I can't stand Alex Caruso. We had just signed him. I don't like Alex Caruso. And it was 20, 30 games into the season. And she's like, I don't see why they signed him. I'm like, you don't see why they signed him. And she played basketball. She was a hooper. And she's like, I was like, you don't see why they signed him? You don't like his defense? You don't like his court, his vision, his killer 3-point? His 3-pointers a lot of times are daggers. Like when an opposing team can at least afford to have a 3-point hit, he hits it. It was crazy. Saying, I like Kobe's defense, which is what Trae Young lacks. Yeah. Trae Young with his thinning hair. Kobe, Ayo, and AC. Man, I'm telling you. Now we're starting to see what Billy was talking about. Now we're starting to see what it looks like. AC is maybe a believer. Well, we saw what it looked like initially with Lonzo Ball. Because if you had a guy, and this is the thing that's frustrating. Because Zach was willing. Zach didn't have to have the ball. You rebound, get it out to Lonzo Ball. He's out and running. He kicks it up. Zach was up the court. They shot. Zach was taking off. Boy. Lonzo got it. Looked up, hit to Zach. One dribble, maybe not even one dribble. 1, 2, boom. That was it. If there was a guy back there, he'd step it out, get it up to him, hit a 3. But once he went down, that screwed up everything. And they didn't have a playmaker who can do those things. And they asked Kobe White, and Kobe White's not a true point guard. And then, you get the ball to Zach and DeMar, and they're ball dominant. They're pounding on the ground. Everyone's standing there. It's like, all right. DeMar's going to get to his spot, shoot. Zach's going to go one-on-one, drive to the hole. And no one was involved. Now people are involved. Big teddy bears. Is that Morgs? Is that my man Morgan? Teddy bear, is that you, Morgs? But I like this style of basketball they're playing. I really do. It is it's an exciting brand of basketball. It is literally a brand. It's a brand of basketball that's keeping them competitive and has them winning. So that's 5 out of the last 7 games they've won. I'll take it. 5 out of the last 7. Oh, Mickey Delaney. Mickey, good morning, Papa. Thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. And now Billy doesn't look like a bad coach because Billy wants to run up and down the court. He wants to play dare I say it? 21st century basketball. Oh my God, stop it. And we're reaping the benefits. I like it. I like it. You see Andre Drummond in the mix. You see a little more Dalen Terry. You know what's really interesting? It's funny to see Dalen Terry gets time. He still looks kind of like, crazy and not settled. Like, dude, it's your second year. Like, you got to chill. You got to be. He still looks like a kid, which he is. But you start to see him contribute. Okay, slowly, small, nothing crazy, but he's getting his feet wet. And here's the thing: remember, we have to have patience with players. You draft kids as a freshman. After the freshman year, they got to develop. They haven't even grown into their own bodies. You know, there was the guy who was the guy on Miami who went they drafted him. But he played for 4 years. Martin Rosick, Love, Bryant. Jaquez, Jaime Jaquez Jr. Went to UCLA. Played for 4 years there. He came in with a body. He came in physically NBA ready. So you have guys like Dalen Terry who's still not even grown into their own body yet. So we got to let them develop, because in college that's what you do. You're there, you play 3. Even if you go 3, all right, they got you lifting before football, during the football season, before basketball season. All right, they got you lifting after your freshman year. They got you lifting before football season of your sophomore year, lifting after your sophomore year. So you're getting a good dose of the weight room. You're getting a good dose of the weight room. So we'll see. Herb's running a little late. It's all right. It's all right. Ha-ha, Mr. Shorty's in the house. Shorty! Cornelius, yes. Yes, yes, yes. All they're missing is the length. Don't forget, they had Joakim Noah, they had Corey Brewer, they had Tito Horford. They had some length on those Florida back-to-back national championship teams. Yeah. Julian Phillips is a freak. Yes, AC. Yeah. Now we're starting to see. Now all of a sudden, again, this Bulls team isn't as boring. Hey, thank you very much, Papa. I appreciate it. I appreciate it big time. This Bulls team isn't as boring. They're quite exciting now. They're up and down the court. Dude, tell me you weren't fired up. They're up 25, and I know they gave it away. Okay. But you weren't fired up when you saw Kobe launching it from 27, 28 feet. Like, hell no. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, snap. No, he didn't. Tell me you weren't fired up. You tell me you weren't fired up, and I'm going to call you a liar. I'm going to call you a straight up liar, because what Kobe was doing yesterday, I think he had one that had to be like 28, 29 feet. And it's so funny. Like, I said, oh, that's a heat check. As soon as I said it, and he missed it, Stacy's like, oh, that was a heat check. I'm like, hey, man. He goes, but you can take those. I'm like, yeah, when you're hot, heat checks are okay. Because if he hit that one from 28, 29 feet, 30 feet, time out. We got to stop this run. They're fun. They're exciting. Now, if we can now we're finally get some draft picks this year, I believe. First rounders, get some tall guys. Get some Aaron Gordon type guys who can put on some weight. Give me some 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" guys who can shoot, who can rebound, who can run the floor, who can pass. Give me a 6'8", 6'10" dead-eye 3-point shooter. Gotta find them. mean, we're getting a lot of 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Got give me 6'9", 6'10". We got Patrick. Even Patrick Williams is playing well. P. Will's playing well. That's what I'm talking about. Man, you got me fired up this morning, baby. Fired up. Fired up, man. Whew. Okay, la. See, you messed me up. Here we go. Yeah, what did P. Will have yesterday? He had a crap game. 9 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, 32 minutes, 3 for 9 from the field. Come on, Papa. 2 for 5 from beyond the arc, 40%. All right. Shoot, damn it. Shoot. Shoot. Shit. Come on, P. Will. Let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're gonna welcome and wait for our guy Herb Howard from the Bigs. He covers the Bears for the Bigs, and got a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to our conversation with my man Herb Howard. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. And do me a favor, share the show. Share it. Put it on your page. Hit the like button. Smash that like button, baby. And don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones will walk at the left tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. Oh, he got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what
in terms of contested catches in the NFL this year. Bears bring a blitz, and they get to Goff. It's Yannick Ngakoue. Lions trying to generate a pass rush here. Hutchinson at the bottom against Darnell Wright. Fields somehow escapes, still on his feet. Justin Fields making some magic happen out to the 30-yard line.
He's got a better feel for that right now.
Fields loads up. Oh, wow, I don't know how that ball got into Darnell Mooney. To the 31-yard line. I thought that was going to be a pick for Cam Sutton. This is at the edge of Patterson's range, so they're going for it on 4th down and 10. And Goff is picked up by Jalen Johnson. Still on his feet. Lost the football, but it's out of bounds. There's also a flag down.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of wrong one, Fox. Why did I have NBC Sports Chicago? Silly. I had the Bulls one. That was Fox. Dope. I'm fired up, man. Maybe it's because I'm too fired up I'm so fired up to talk to my next guest, man. He's a good friend of the program. You've seen him on here plenty of times. He covers the Bears for the Bigs Media. You can find him on Twitter at Herb Howard 411. Man, let's welcome back our mans and them, Herb Howard. Herb, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How you doing?
Shawn, what's going on, brother? I'm good. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great. Had a great CrossFit workout this morning. Woo, Charlie, I
There
feel
you go.
good.
Did you put some time in for me?
Yeah, oh, shit, hell yeah. I gave you about 20 minutes in there.
Okay.
Extra.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Just email me the results. I'll just stick them somewhere. You know?
So when you start getting GQ covers and Chicago Magazine covers for photo shoots, just break me off a little something, you know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about this Bears team. All right, I really am. I said it during the bye week. I'm like, they can run a table. All right, this is a big test this week, though. This is a really big test, but not insurmountable. First of all, give me your thoughts on how you like the game that they played on Sunday, and then what you give them, or what are the chances that you give them this week against the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, I thought on Sunday against Detroit, the Bears showed up and played well. I thought they would. I think I picked them to win 27-10 against Detroit, and they came out. They played really well. I expected them to do that. They play really well up in Detroit. They let that game get away. Obviously, one of the games that they let get away, in my opinion, with that one and the Denver Broncos game back in week 4. You win both of those games. Now you're talking about being in a completely different position as it relates to this playoff push. And so, they're still trying to sneak into the back door. We'll see if they can win out and do that. But letting those games get away kind of put them in a position where it's not quite likely for them to actually make it in. That being said, I thought they finally have gotten to be the team that they thought they could be. The defense is legit. It's not like a defense that's, improving or getting there. That defense has arrived. It's really that good. They stuff the run. They get consistent pressure on the passer of late since they've, 1, switched over to Matt Eberflus's play caller, but 2, also bringing in Montez Sweat. And they also been taking the ball away on the back end. And so they continue to do things defensively that can certainly get you a lot of wins. And offensively, they've been doing enough. They've been able to continue to run the ball. They've also been able to make some big explosive plays when they need to, and they've been taking care of the football. And so if you do those things, you'll give yourself a chance to win. They certainly did that Sunday against Detroit. They'll have to do that again, even more so this Sunday against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. That defense is another legit defense. It's very good. They can get a lot of pressure on the passer. They can take the ball away. They've got a lot of really, really talented pieces. Denzel Ward, the corner, probably going to play on Sunday. So you're talking about some guys that can really make a difference in the game plan. The offense is going to have to be at its very best if they want to come out there and leave with a dub.
And that's the thing that excites me, is because it is a good defense. All right, there's a lot of naysayers, a lot of people just saying, well, it was this team, it was that team. Well, I know Detroit's leading the NFC North, but they're struggling. And it's okay, cool, no problem. All right, you can only play who's on a schedule. Well, now you got the number 1 defense in the NFL. And if you're able to move the ball up and down the field, if you're able to put 20 plus, or God forbid 30 spot on them, now there's a lot less excuses that people can use about this offense. I'm excited about. Talk to me about the tackle situation. All right, our tackles, because we're gonna have to. Myles Garrett's gonna be a stud. I mean, they're gonna move. It's not just the tackles; they're gonna move him all over the place. He's not just in one spot. So Darnell Wright's gonna have a shot at him. All right, Nasty Nate Davis is going to have a shot at him. Tevin Jenkins is going to have a shot at him. Braxton Jones is going to have a shot at him. Talk about how you feel these guys are going to step up to the challenge of one Mr. Myles Garrett, who is a bad man.
Well, I'm sure they had somebody, highlighted in that number 95 jersey all week in practice, right, to try and find out where he is. And they do move him all around that defense, up and down the defensive line, on the ball, off the ball. He's capable of doing so many things. He's an absolute freak of nature. Athletically, he's big, he's strong, he can move, he can run. And so there's nothing that he can't do in the run game or in the pass game. So you just got to have a game plan for him. You got to know where he is at all times, and then you got to execute that game plan. You talk about 60, 65 snaps. He's going to win a few. That's just what it is. He's going to get some. You try to limit what those plays are. Are they key situations? Are they 3rd and longs? Are they strip sacks? Are they takeaways? Those types of things. But he's going to make himself a couple plays in this game. How do you go about dealing with him? The other 62, 63 plays is going to be the determining factor in terms of the Bears' success.
Luke Getzey took a mea culpa for that fourth down yesterday, which is really the first time that I recall him saying, my bad. I was like, whoa, we had to rewind that.
Yeah.
How consistent do you think he's going to be with the run? They're a good run defense, but you have to run the ball. You have to run the ball to set everything else up. How consistent do you think he's going to stay with that run game, especially if it doesn't, garner a couple, 5, 6, 7 yards a pop early? How do you think he's going to be adamant with it? Because as I just said, it opens up the doors for everything.
They got to run the ball for 4 quarters, Shawn, this week. Like whatever happens, they got to be able to run the ball for 4 quarters. Now, the Bears' defense is good enough to keep them in the game. So running the football should never be off the table. I don't foresee a point in this game where they're down 2 touchdowns and you got to say, okay, we scrapped the run game. We got to throw this ball all around the yard. You get in that situation, it could get ugly real fast in terms of the pass rush and the playmakers they got on the back end. So, they got to be able, the Bears, to run the ball early. They got to be able to run it often. They got to be able to stick to it even when they get the 2s and the 3s or the 1s and the no gains. You got to be able to stick to that run. The Bears got a lot of good running backs that do a lot of different things well. They got an offensive line that likes to go forward and move people off the ball. They're going to have to stick to the running game. Love used to say, we get off the bus running. This is one of those types of games where they're going to have to get off the bus running the football in order to set up the bootlegs for Justin, the play actions downfield for DJ or Cole or Moon. Like, they got to be able to do those types of things. It's all going to start with their ability to run the football.
Yeah, I agree with you. Who you starting? I mean, Khalil Herbert had the number 1 gig. He got hurt. Deontay Foreman, to me, is a little better fit because of his physicality. Roschon Johnson is a much better pass blocker, probably maybe the best pass blocker of all of them. Him or Deontay. So who do you think gets the bulk of the carries? Who's RB1, or is it still running back by committee and they're going to kind of even out the carries or the plays, I should say?
Yeah, I think they'll probably end up riding a hot hand. I would expect Deontay Foreman to get the first crack at it because they need to be able to run the ball. It's not a situation where you had like the Minnesota Vikings where they're bringing all these different exotic blitz on any given down, and you got to have your best pass blocker in there, which is why Roschon got so many reps up in Minnesota a couple of weeks back. I expect Deontay Foreman to get the first look at it, but I think Khalil Herbert will get his opportunities. Roschon will get his opportunities. They need to run the ball, 30, 35 times in this game.
Oh, dude, you just gave me goosebumps. Say that again. Say that again. Say it again.
The Bears need to run the ball 30, 35 times this week against this Cleveland Browns defense. That's what it's going to take for them to be victorious. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be a defensive battle. Both defenses are really, really good. But if you can play, ball control offense, kind of play a field position game, limit the turnovers, and keep that other offense on the bench, then that's going to be the best formula for success for the Bears. So they got to get all those running backs up and ready to go. The offensive line's got to be up and ready to go. It's going to take their very, very best effort to win.
I'm excited because this team likes to play a lot of man. They're a very aggressive bunch on defense. And DJ Moore, go DJ. That's my DJ. Yeah. He just destroys people in man. Talk to me about what you think they're going to do to compensate for that. And then what should the Bears do to compensate for their compensation?
Yeah, I think, first thing you got to worry about is DJ's health, right? That ankle that he got rolled up on last week in the Lions game. How healthy is he? How close to 100%? You talk about week 15, nobody's, 100%, but how close can he be, to being 100%? And be as effective as he can be. How explosive can he be in terms of not only going down the field to catch the ball, but what he does so well is after he catches the ball, and that type of explosiveness, the ability to break out of those tackles. And so he's going to be healthy. That's the number one thing I'm worried about. I think he'll be out there. I know he'll be ready to go, but we got to see how effective he can be. That being said, when his opportunities come, they can't miss, right? So you'll get a few opportunities against this defense to get some big plays, to create some explosives. You cannot miss them. It can't be off the fingertips. It can't be just a little bit behind. It can't, I just let that one go through my hands. You got to take advantage of the opportunities that are going to come. I don't think there'll be more than 2 touchdowns scored in this game. And so you got to take advantage of the opportunities when they come. When you have a chance for a 30 or 40 yarder, you got to make sure you get that. And so DJ Moore is going to be a huge, huge factor in that, as will Darnell Mooney, maybe even Tyler Scott. Whenever those plays are available, you got to make sure you make them.
Guys, we're joined by Herb Howard, who covers the Bears for the Bigs Media, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Yeah, Justin missed DJ that deep in last week, and I was pissed. That would have been a nice gain, and there, there would have been some yards after the catch on that one, and it would have done, and that probably could have given DJ over 100 yards in literally just the second half because he got no targets in the first. Yeah, he can't miss those. They can't miss those. Talk to me about Justin Fields. He's going back to the scene of the crime where his first NFL start was 2 years ago. Different scheme, different head coach, different regime, different everything. However, he got his ass whooped. All right, sacked 9 times, 4.5 by Mr. Myles Garrett, who so eloquently put the tombstones for Halloween on. On his lawn, which I thought is dope as hell, but I digress. Talk to me about how you feel he's going to come out. We know Justin is a competitor. We know that he knows he got his ass kicked. We know that he knows that was his first start and he wants to make amends. How do you think Justin comes out to play this week with a lot on the line? I'm not worried about playoffs. They're worried about this week. But this is one big step because just keep it real. They're players. They understand. They get through this game. Atlanta, AZ and Atlanta are two pretty easy wins for all intents and purposes. Excuse me. Now you can go into the final game against Green Bay on a roll. Talk to me about QB1 and what you think his mindset is going into this game in Cleveland, the mistake by the lake.
Yeah, I think his I think his mind set will be in the proper place. I think that certainly he's got some demons to exercise from his very first start 2 years ago. Up in Cleveland, he wasn't quite ready for that experience, and the coaching staff didn't do him any favors. That Matt Nagy should still be locked up for that. That was attempted murder on Justin Fields' life right there. That was crazy what they did to him up there in Cleveland. I remember being there and just watching that game. Like, my God, he doesn't have a chance. When they break the huddle, he don't have a chance. And so and then he wasn't helping himself. He didn't know how to get to his hot reads and get the ball out quick. So definitely a terrible afternoon it was that day out in Cleveland in 2021. That being said, he's far removed from that, young player, bright-eyed, making his first start, going back to Ohio. So, he's a much different player, a lot more experience. He can protect himself a lot better. And also you don't have that horrendous game plan that kind of threw him in the fire, even though he didn't get many reps with the number ones throughout training camp. So that whole game plan was terrible, and he suffered a lot because of it. I don't expect anything like that, but it's still a really, really good defense with a lot of good players. Justin is going to have to be on his game in terms of getting the ball out quickly, knowing when the play is over, right? So you don't put the ball at risk in terms of fumbles, and taking advantage of the plays when they are there. Just kind of keep matriculating the ball down the field, right? So those are the things that he's going to need to do. I think he'll be in the right mind space to do it. Now, can they do it? I don't know, right? I don't know. This is a really good defense, and it's a tough place to play, and it'll take the Bears' very, very best for them to go up there and get that W. I don't know that they can do that. I want them to, because I think if they're able to go up there and put together a decent offensive performance, a good enough to win offensive performance, and Justin plays well, then I think you got to put to bed all the talk about, the future of the quarterback position here with the Bears. It's got to be Justin Fields going forward. If he goes up there and rips this defense and they come back with the win, I don't mean he's got to go up there and put up 350, but they play good enough to win the ball game and he's around 200 and maybe gets another 50, 60 rushing like he did last week and they win the game, then that's the guy that you want to go forward with at the quarterback position. So I want nothing more than that, because I've always believed in Justin Fields. I'm a big Justin Fields guy. I think he is the guy that can lead this team ultimately to a Super Bowl. I think the Bears would be best served continuing to build around him as opposed to hitting the reset button on another rookie quarterback. So I definitely want him to go up there and perform well. I think it's a very tall task.
It is a tall task, but it's one that he's well equipped now. He's got an offensive line. He's got, which is why I'm excited. This is why I'm excited, because you got a badass defense in Cleveland, number one defense in the NFL, but you also got a badass in Darnell Wright. You also got a badass in Nate Davis. You also got a badass in Tevin Jenkins. You also got a badass in Braxton Jones. He's going up there equally yoked now. Now he ain't going to be I don't believe he's going to be running for his life like he was last time. You got a number one receiver. You got a tight end who's really come on the last season and a half, has really stepped into his own and come out. He's got boys now. Now he's like, oh, you got me before. You jumped me before. It was 11-on-1. I got my peoples now. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited about that. And him being a competitor, I know he's going to want to do. You mentioned a couple of things. One, just the ass whooping he got. He wants to avenge that. But two, he's going back to Ohio, all right, where he played his college ball and did major work in Ohio. So I'm looking forward to him really having a phenomenal game. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Cleveland's like, they just signed some dude that I knew that used to work at Home Depot. I'm kidding. They're down to their fourth and fifth tackles, man. That is not good for Cleveland. Yep. And talk to me about how this defense, our defense, me being a meathead, our defense, tell me how they could take advantage of that statuesque Joe Flacco, who won the game for him last week. He can still sling it, but he ain't moving. And how is this going to him and his fourth and fifth string tackles? How's that going to stack up against Montez Sweat and the boys on our defensive front?
Yeah, Flus is going to have a really good game plan, right? Just going into the game. Joe Flacco knows he's statuesque. He's been statuesque since I seen him come to SIU and win the semifinal game when he was at Delaware. So he knows he didn't just become immobile. He's always been immobile. That being said, he knows how to get the ball out of his hands quickly, right? He knows where all the answers are. He knows he wants to go with the football. And like you said, he can make every single throw on the field still, right? And so you got to be able to disguise some coverages, right? I know he's seen it all, but if you want to just have him hold the ball just an extra second, because you don't expect that offensive line to hold up against the Bears front right now, not with the way they're playing. Obviously, Yannick Ngakoue unfortunately went down. That was just one of those freak kind of football things. He got rolled up on by Tremaine Edmonds, and Tremaine didn't even know. The media told Tremaine in the locker room, I think, what was that, Wednesday, I think, told him, and he didn't even know.
Your fault, man. Your fault.
I sat down here. Yeah, no, I after that, because I wasn't in the scrum, like when 30 people go to his locker and they tell him, I wasn't in that, but I talked to him right after that, and he didn't know when it happened. So I told him, what play it was, and so he's got his iPad, he's flipping through, and me and him are sitting there watching, like, just watch yourself on this play. And he was like, "Oh man, I didn't even know that happened." He felt bad. He's like, "Man," I'm like, "It ain't nobody's fault, bro. Like, it's just some freak football shit that just happens."
Yeah.
And it's it's unfortunate that it was friendly fire, but it's just one of those things that just happened. And so you'll miss him for sure. DeMarcus Walker has to step up. He was the guy that they signed. He was the first guy they signed to help out this pass rush, right? And that wasn't enough, and so they went ahead and got Yannick, and then that wasn't enough, so they went ahead and got Montez. And each time DeMarcus Walker kind of got pushed down to where he was in that third down kind of package where he would kick to the inside, and he was rotating some at DN too, but he'll play a lot more at end, and we'll see what they do on their third down package in terms of getting Andrew Billings out and who they choose to bring in. If they bring in Dom Robb to take the edge and still kick DeMarcus inside, or does Javon Dexter get more pass rush opportunities? And so we'll see what that looks like. Either way, Flus has to have a really good plan for how he's going to, one, create pressure on Joe Flacco, but two, disguise some coverages on the back end so they can try and get their hands on the football. I think the defense has to not only take the ball away, I think they got to score on Sunday. I think they're capable of it. If they can get their hands on the ball, I think they're capable of taking the ball away and either scoring themselves or setting up an easy score somewhere inside the 15-yard line, something like that. If they can do that, that'll help out a lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking along the lines of you. They might have to score or return it to the my favorite inside the 5. I was a touchdown vulture boy. I was like, I tell my guy, hey, step out of bounds with the 1. Step out of bounds with the 1. I need my tutties.
Let me get that.
I need my tutties.
Let me get that.
And it happened like so many times in my career, especially with the Thunder. I remember at least 6 or 8 times, and the dudes came off, and I was like, I'd always go to them because I knew they're pissed because they wanted to score. Defensive guys want to score. I'm like, man, thanks, dog. I know you love me. Like, shut up, Sierra. Shut up. Get your ass in the end zone.
Right.
I got you, dog. I got your first beer after the game. Don't worry about it.
You take them how they come, and then you celebrate like you took it 99 yards. You jump
exactly.
up. I'll get the whole thing. Let's go.
So 7 GMs anonymously, of course, talked to Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
Charles Robinson, I believe. And all 7 said that they would restart the clock. Your thoughts on that? I know you're a Justin Fields guy, and you know I'm a Justin Fields guy. I just think that this kid is a winner. I think he's everything. But I also understand the financial aspect of this game, the money side of it. Your thoughts on 7 GMs unanimously saying, yeah, if the season ends today, trade Justin, draft Caleb, or draft a QB.
Yeah, I think let's talk about people that aren't inside the building. Unless one of those GMs was Ryan Poles, you're talking about guys who are not in the building and don't know his makeup, right? Don't know what he means to this team, to this locker room, how he carries himself, how he leads his guys, but also just, the work that he puts in, right? And I think he has all of the tools that you want. But even if you look at his stats this year, he compares favorably to some of the better quarterbacks in the league. And so I just don't know that for me, there may be a handful of quarterbacks, 5 or so quarterbacks in the league right now that I would take over Justin Fields if I'm starting the franchise. And so I don't see how one of these rookies is going to come in and ascend to that top upper echelon tier of quarterbacks right away, because if there's only 5 or 6 that I would take from him now, I don't see, Caleb Williams or Drake May coming in and being one of those 5 or 6 guys. And I think that this defense is ready to win right now. And so I think you'd be better served keeping Justin in place, getting more talent around him, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. in here, Brock Bowers, offensive line help, do whatever, find that dominant 3 technique either via the draft or free agency. I think they'd be better served using their resources like that. You get another opportunity to trade down, stack some more picks, right? Maybe you can trade down with a team that already has a dominant 3 tech. I've heard teams throw around. I've heard the Giants thrown around as one of the possibilities. For a trade, because they've got Dexter Lawrence up there and they can send him back. He can be your 3 technique. So those types of situations are all on the table. And I think for me, those will be better upgrades for this team overall than trying to do something at the quarterback position.
I agree, Herb. I really agree. And truth be told, the Bears have had the great fortune of having, possibly, it hasn't happened yet, of getting the number 1 pick, overall pick 2 years in a row. The haul that they could get this time. And who says you got to trade Justin this year? And here's my theory. It's okay if you take it and use it other places. Give him the 5th-year option. Okay? And here's why.
Hell yeah.
He's budgeted. Okay? So if for some reason it doesn't work and you feel that it's not going to work, you can trade him and people know what he's going to cost. Okay? Because if you don't pick up his 5th-year option and he plays next year and then you want to trade him, people are like, well, I don't know how much it's going to cost. He's going to want an extension. He's going to want this. If you trade him next year, as a team, you got him for $10 million, $15 million, $20 million, whatever his 5th-year option is, it's budgeted. It is budgeted. And we talked to him, and I talked about how important it is to know how much everyone else is going to cost. Because if you want to extend Justin, this is why I want those draft picks. Because now first rounders are 4 plus a 5th year. Second rounders are 4. So now you know exactly what everybody is and what everyone's going to cost. So if you want to pay Justin, okay, we got this. Here's what we can give Justin. It's all about the finances. And I think, dude, I'm along with you, bro. I think if you take Justin Fields out of that locker room, you're going to decimate that locker room. You're going to decimate that locker room.
Definitely not the way you want to go. I think you pick up that 5th-year rookie option on him, and by middle of the year next year, by trade deadline of 2024, you're going to know.
You'll know.
And you'll know, extend him right now or trade him right now.
Yep.
I think, hopefully we're looking at an extension middle of the year next year where they're like, okay, let's go ahead and get this kid locked up before it costs us $500 million.
And plus, you don't need a quarterback this year. You don't need a quarterback this year. You can go, and you know what? And that's the thing that people are worried about. Or, you're going to pass on a generational talent. Like, first of all, I don't feel Caleb Williams is generational talent. All right? I don't. All right? Ryan Leaf was a generational talent, too, coming out. So when people generational talent, you make mistakes. And I don't know what some of these guys are thinking. All right? But I don't see it in Caleb Williams. And I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not giving a knock. I think he's a great player. I don't see him as a generational talent. I think he could be a really good NFL quarterback. some things you got to fix. I think mentally, some things you got to fix. But whatever. Give me Justin because 1, he's here. 2, the leadership he has. 3, is there any quarterback in the league who can do something physically that Justin can't do? I can't think of one quarterback in the NFL that can do something physically that Justin can't do. Justin can do everything.
No.
So I would take this dude, get a second round quarterback. You know what? Get a quarterback next year in the second round, or get a quarterback later in the round and develop them. There's so many different things you can do. And how many first round quarterbacks, Herb, really go on to be superstars? Lead your team to a Super Bowl. How many? Not very many.
No, it's very few. I think we throw around that generational talent term way too much. You throw around a term like that, then it don't mean shit, right? There's no way there's a generational talent every year, right? Generational means generational, right? And so is he one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks throughout the entirety of a generation? And how many of those guys are there, right? You go back to last generation, you're talking about Brady, Rodgers, Breeze,
Manning.
like how many of these guys are there? And that's after their career started, right? Obviously, Brady was 199th pick, you know what I mean? So Rodgers was the 23rd pick. He sat in that green room for hours. And so for me, in the past 25 years, there have been 3 quarterbacks that came out that I thought coming out were generational quarterbacks. Only 3. There was Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, and Deshaun Watson. That's not to say they all turned out that way, right? Because obviously we see what's going on with Deshaun Watson. But I'm just saying coming into the draft, I thought there's a generational quarterback right there. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson. I didn't think that about Patrick Mahomes. He played for Texas Tech, and everybody throws for 1 million yards at Texas Tech, right? So there have been guys that have done it, other than that. But those are the only 3 when they came out. I was like, yeah, those dudes got it. And so this idea that, there may be 2 or 3 in this class is crazy, right? That's just not the reality of the situation.
Again, bro.
Yeah, like that's
Jim Kelly,
just
John
crazy.
Elway.
Yeah, John Elway. Come on, man. We're not doing that. So I just, I think that you got a good quarterback. You know who he is. You know what he is. And people keep talking about, this next level and can he hit this next level? And perhaps there is a next level in terms of, his anticipation and his mastery of an offense and, being in a system for more than a year or 2 and then being in that system for more than a year with good players around him, right, would help. And so we'll see what that looks like going forward. But Shawn, what if he's just who we saw last week? What if that's who he is, right? And every week he's going to go out there and he's going to get you 215, 220. He's going to run for another 60. He's going to count for 3 touchdowns. What if that's who he is? You can't win a football game with that dude at quarterback? Like that's crazy to me. And so you put a full team around Justin Fields and he can certainly get you to a Super Bowl. And so I think that would be the best route to go. And I think we need to slow down on all of the generational talk. That's like you said, it's not a knock on Caleb Williams, not a knock on Drake May or any of those guys, right? But the way that gets thrown around is just disrespectful.
It's like the GOAT word. It's like the GOAT word. Oh, he's the GOAT. Yeah. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I'm like, do you even know what the GOAT means? Or just everyone their mama's a GOAT. Like, come on, man. Stop. Put your GM hat on. What do you do? See, I said the Bears can win 5 hands. Thank you. Ooh, over the top. My GM hat on. Little Sylvester Stallone. I see you. I did it. But so my thought, I said, okay, I thought the Bears could win out over the bye week. I'm like, they can win out, which they have a chance to do. Yeah. I said, however, I even bet Ken Davis. I'm like, he's like, they're going to win out. I'm like, they're winning out. And then I'm like, you know what? Because we bet lunch. I'm like, I will lose lunch. If they lose to Arizona, I will gladly buy you lunch because it just pushes Arizona down. Because I don't think Arizona they don't need a quarterback. I don't think they're looking at a quarterback. So they're going to probably take the Marvin Harrison. Maybe they'll take Olu. I don't know, but I don't want to chance it. Give me your thoughts on how this Bears team, all right, finishes these last 4 games, starting with this one, but finish these last 4 games. And what would you do as a GM? So give me a way you think the season is going to finish out. So I think Bears, New England, Bears, New England, Washington, and then Arizona. And I think Washington trades up. How do you think it plays out? And if you were GM, how would you like it to play out? And what would you do if it played out the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, I think the Bears are. I think the Bears are going to go 3-1 in these last 4 games. I
Okay.
think they'll end up with 8 wins, and obviously, I expect them to have the number 1 pick. I don't foresee the Panthers ripping off a couple wins or anything
I
like
know.
that. So I think they'll have the number 1 pick, and I would trade down. I would find out who wants to come up first of all, and then trade down accordingly. Because for me, if they leave this draft having had the number 1 pick and they don't get Marvin Harrison Jr., it's a failure. Absolute failure to me. Go get that kid. He's the best player in the country. You have the number 1 pick. And so people talk about, oh, can you take number 1 pick on wide receiver? I don't give a damn what he plays, right? He's the best player in the country. So if you have to use number 1 pick, I'm perfectly fine with that. Would I like to see you trade down and acquire some more assets? Sure, I would. But if you got to trade down past 3, I don't know that you're getting that kid anymore. And to watch him go a pick in front of you, that would be maddening to me. And so, I do want to trade down. I do want to acquire some more assets in terms of future draft picks or whatever, or maybe even, like I said earlier, get in a situation where you can trade with a team that also has a current asset that you need, a proven productive player in this league, preferably at the 3 tech. But I would not want to do it at the expense of Marvin Harrison Jr. Can you imagine if that kid is as good as I think he is? Now we're talking about generational talent. I think he's a generational talent. There's a guy that fits the bill as generational talent. And so if he comes here and he is generational, DJ Moore is your second best wide receiver by 2025. That's crazy, right?
That's pure insanity to have those two.
It's nuts.
That's
you still got Cole locked up for 3 more years. You got DJ Moore, and then this kid comes in and he becomes your number 1 receiver by his second year, maybe. Come on. Come on. I don't know what they're going to do with Moon, but if you slot him just into that 3rd receiver slot, and he's always strictly in the slot right there as your number 3, and now he's matched up on linebackers and safeties all the time, man, look, you cooking with hot grease now. And so I don't want to see a scenario where they don't end up with Marvin Harrison Jr. I just don't, right? I think you got the draft capital to have the kid. If you can find a way to get down to 3 and you're comfortable, really, really comfortable, sure that the 1 and 2 is going to take a quarterback, because I don't think he's going to be the first non-quarterback taken. So if you're talking about Caleb Williams, Drake May, I don't know that there's another player that's going to go that's not named Marvin Harrison Jr. So I don't know if you can go past 3. That does kind of, hamstring you a little bit in terms of what you can do and the flexibility that you have. But I think he's worth it, man. I wouldn't put myself in a position where I would miss on him, even if that means I got to take him at 1, which it's not ideal. I want to move back, but not so far that I can't get that kid.
What about, Cornelius came in. I was just about to ask you this. Would you be okay if you got more of a haul, but you're able to get the kid out of Washington, or you're able to get Malik Neighbors? Would you be okay with that? Are you just set? You GM you're set on Marvin Harrison Jr.
Sure. I mean, look, sure. You can go get those other guys. That's not a bad idea, Cornelius. I don't hate that, right? But I'm talking about levels, and I think this kid is here. And so if I got a chance to go get, Randy Moss or T.O., then I want Randy Moss or T.O. Am I pissed that I got Santana Moss? No, I like Santana Moss. That's cool, right? Am I pissed that I got Steve Smith? No, that's even better, right? But are we talking T.O. and Randy Moss, or are we talking Steve Smith, then some Santana Moss? We're talking about levels. And if you got an opportunity to get that kid, then that would be the one I want. How many holes are left on this defense? On this team, right? So last year, you want to get as much as you can. Cool. You go back to 9, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. This year, how many holes are we trying to fill? We're talking about center. We're talking about a dominant 3 tech. Those are the only 2 glaring needs I see on this team. What are they going to do with Bojack at free safety? Can they find a game-changing free safety there to replace the aging Bojack? Maybe that's something that they want to do. I'm fine with Bojack returning unless you can get an absolute game-changing safety, right? I wouldn't get rid of him just for the sake of it. But if you can get a truly game-changing type safety, then sure. But other than that, where are the holes on this team that you're looking to fill so desperately that we got to get this huge haul of players in return to go play where? Right? You got your number one receiver. You locked up your tight end. You got a pretty solid offensive line. You got to address the center position. People talk about left tackle because the Olu kid's coming out, and I like him too. But I'll tell you what, Ryan Poles likes Braxton Jones, right? That's what I know for sure. Chris Morgan, they like Braxton Jones, the Bears O-line coach. So you can say whatever you want to say about Braxton Jones. They like him. He fits their scheme. And if they don't view it as a need to say, okay, well, we got to go.
Necessity, yeah.
It's right. If you talk about a luxury pick, oh, it's a luxury. We can go get this perennial Pro Bowl left tackle. Cool, that's a luxury, no problem. But if you're telling me that getting Marvin Harrison Jr. is a luxury, then I'm going to tell you that getting Olu is also a luxury. And we already got a left tackle that's more than capable of performing well in this system. So for me, I start to look around this roster and I don't see as many holes as some people are talking about. We got to get all these things back to put them where, right? You sign Jalen Johnson and you call it a day, right? You stop playing games with that. Go ahead and sign Jalen Johnson. You got Montez Sweat. You can figure out another pass rusher. You can draft one in the middle rounds. You can sign another one. You can bring back Yannick Ngakoue. He's going to want to do it on a team-friendly deal. You got to find out what that surgery is going to look like. You can bring him back for another year. You got DeMarcus Walker still. You still got Dom Robb on a rookie deal. Like, I don't know where all these holes are that people are talking about on this roster. Andrew Billings is your nose tackle, and he's a damn good one. Right? So, like, you got your linebacking core. You got more linebackers than you can use right now.
At linebacker.
What you got depth in the secondary right now. You're developing 2 rookie corners, both over there. And I hope they're not doing that with the idea that one of them can step in the Jalen spot and we'll be fine there. But you got 2 of them there. You got Kyler Gordon, Jaquan still on their rookie deals. You got good depth at corner, too. I like the kids that aren't even in the game. I like Jalen Jones. I like Josh Blackwell. Elijah Hicks has performed well when he's had his opportunity. So what holes are you talking about? You got 100 running backs and you can find 100 more. Doesn't even matter, right? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, to me, another huge weapon would be the biggest thing other than that 3-tech. That 3-tech is huge. But get Justin another big, dependable weapon.
Get him another dude opposite the other dude he's got.
Now you got dudes. Now you got 2 dudes, right? Now you got dude and dude.
You got just a guy. You got dudes out there. That's what we're talking about.
Dudes, and that's what these top offenses have. You talk about, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Boyd. You talk all these teams that got dudes. You got Tyreek and Jalen Waddle in them. Like, Tua ain't that damn good. I'm not hating on Shorty, but he got 4.2 speed wherever he wants it. Like, man.
And we've already seen
I think that's the best way to go. I don't hate Cornelius's point. I don't hate that point at all. But man, if I got a chance to get that kid, I want him.
Yeah, and Ryan Poles already showed his ass. He's like, I'm getting a player. Oh, I'm getting me a player in that trade. just so you know, and everybody knows, we getting a player to come in. All right, what we need a center and we need a 3-tech, and we're then because last week we didn't have a DJ Moore, so we needed that wide receiver. Now we know who our wide receiver is. He's at Ohio State right now, or maybe I don't know where he's training, but wherever.
Right.
He's going to get. And if it's Washington, man, you could, how about Deron Payne? You know what I mean? Like, it's a big contract. You put Deron Payne in with Javon Dexter Sr. and Billings and that rotation and Zach Pickens. Come on, man. Now we're looking like the Philadelphia Eagles in that rotation where you got first rounder. Like, all 4 dudes in that rotation are first rounders. Like, oh, shit. Hold on, player. This is a defense. Like, there's no drop off. So with Ryan Poles, I believe, and he showed his hand last year. I'm getting me a player, a legit player. And if he does, man, Charlie. And then don't forget, we can always trade back up. If we go down, like, okay, I want Marvin Harrison. I think I'm going to trade back up if we trade out of it because we got draft capital. We're probably going to get 3 first rounders. 3 first rounders. I'll give you that 26 first rounder, 27 first rounder, jump back up and get Marvin Harrison Jr. If that bring us closer to a Super Bowl,
come on,
man.
Come on,
with
man.
it. I'm with it.
You feel all of those holes like that at center, 3-tech, and another explosive wide receiver like that. You're talking about a team that's legitimately ready to make a Super Bowl run, right? If not in 24, then in 25, when you still, by the way, have your quarterback on his rookie deal. That's his 5th-year option. You got 24 and 25 to make a legitimate run at this thing. Let's go, man. Like I like those kids too. I like the Washington kid, Arunde. I like Neighbors. I like all them cats that y'all name. But Shorty is different. He's different. He's the guy that you spend all week as a DC saying 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. You got 22 eyes on him at the beginning of every snap, and he still goes out there and gets you, 8 for $150 and 2. Like that's just.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What about if they trade and they get a stud receiver? It's like if Washington is 5. Like if you trade with Washington and you go get Scary Terry. You go get Scary Terry on the other side of DJ Moore. Are you cool with that?
That's a problem. That's a problem. Yes, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
Because he's a proven commodity, first and foremost.
He's a proven commodity. He's a really good receiver in this league. I like Terry for sure. If you're asking me to bet, I would still bet that Marvin Harrison is going to have a better career. I'm really, like I said, I don't throw around that generational talent stuff often. I'm serious about this kid. I think he's like that. Like I don't think he's top 10 receiver in the league. I think he's Julio Jones in his prime. Like I think he's that kind of good. And so, listen, you can pass on Julio or Fitzgerald if you want to, and say, hey, I still got this guy, and he's a really good receiver. Cool, he is a good receiver. I'm fine with that. So I don't hate nothing about those routes to be taken. I just would love to leave this draft with that kid that everybody knows is going to be a baller.
Yeah, because there's really no flaw in his game, and after watching his game, and you look at his dad. I mean, his dad was 6'1", maybe, and he had to be a stud. One, he had a great quarterback, but two, his route running was immaculate. And you don't think if you don't think that he picked that up from his dad, you need to go watch him tape and watch him run his routes. I mean, he's
bigger than his dad.
He's 6'4" with ups and long with ups like that. And I mean, you talk about a stock. It's funny because it's a real quick story. The guy I played ball with at Holy Cross, he was a year older than me, was a first-team All-American, a running back. And I was sitting behind him. He broke the school record and everything. He was named the New England Running Back of the Year, blah, 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 blah. His son just got named his son goes to Holy Cross, and his son just got named New England Running Back of the Year and everything. And that was so cool. Like I was like, dude, yeah, I sent him a message the other day.
From
like,
good stock, man.
Yeah, and he was saying it was funny. He's like, man, he goes 32 years ago. He goes, I won the same award. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, it's much better on this side, giving it to my son. So this guy talked. He taught him. And he brought him up. This is how I did. And don't worry about the new way. There's some things that are tried and true. And I think Marvin Harrison with his dad is as meticulous as he was with his routes. Because he wasn't big. He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the biggest guy. Wasn't the strongest guy. But God damn it, he got open how did you get open? Precise route running. When you got a guy who's 6'4" with precise route running, with better with longer arms, with better hops, I agree with you, man. I just think that if you get him, man, that's a game changer. And I think now you can really evaluate Justin Fields. You can really evaluate Matt Eberflus. Last question before we let you go, because man, we'll be here all day.
I'm saying you talking about weapons though, right? Like you talk about weaponry. Now they did that with Peyton Manning at quarterback. So you got to be at your spot on time. I'm expecting you here. Ball's going to be here. Get there, right? He's got the route precision to get there, but he's also got Reggie Wayne on the other side, and he's also a dude. Right. And then you got Dallas Clark in the middle of the field, also a dude. So you talk about Cole Kmet, DJ Moore,
don't forget
Marvin
the edge.
Harrison.
Don't forget the edge.
Oh, yeah, you got it's a huge problem that you have right now. So if Cole Kmet is your Dallas Clark and DJ is your Reggie Wayne or your Marvin Harrison, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. is your Marvin Harrison, come on, you have a problem here. And now you still have Justin Fields, because you have to account for him. right? So you don't got to account for Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
You're not accounting for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning going to be right there at the top of his drop, getting that ball out, throwing the ball. This dude, you got to keep eyes on him because he might take off too. So now I can't just deploy both of my safeties to stay over the top of these two dudes because I also got to worry about this quarterback taking off. So, man, that's just my ideal scenario. If I'm the GM, I want to move back, but I'm not moving back so far that I can't get that kid.
Man, Herb, man, you know how we do, man. We could talk for 2 hours. I got to go pick up the warden from CrossFit. She's at CrossFit right now. Otherwise, we would go for 2 more hours, man. I appreciate your time as always, man. I love talking football with you, as you well know. But do me a favor before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Always a pleasure, Shawn. Thanks for having me, brother. You can definitely follow me on Twitter at HerbPower411. Follow all my work at It's the Bigs on Twitter, and check out the Bigs Media YouTube page for the latest in a series of one-on-one sit-downs. Talk to Tevin Jenkins this weekend. That'll be coming this week. That'll be coming out this weekend. But you can also get caught up on all the other videos, all the one-on-ones with Justin Fields, DJ Moore, Jalen Johnson. I've had some pretty good talks with all those guys, and that is on the Bigs Media YouTube page.
Dude, great stuff, man. I will see you in 2 weeks. Well, a little over a week, I bet, when they come back for AZ and then the ATL. So, yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, man. All right, be safe traveling up to the Mistake by the Lake over there. And check. Have you been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I have not been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No,
I heard it's really cool, man. I've been taking a trek out there. Yeah, a lot of people, white and black, are saying like it's pretty cool. Like it's not just like rock and roll, like they have, cool. So I'm excited. I would like to do that. I think I may do that soon. But if you get a shot, man, when you would head out tomorrow?
Yeah, okay. I had a decent time up in Cleveland in 2021, man. So I'm not too down on going again.
Cool, man. Hey, like I said, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, Papa. Have a safe trip, and we'll talk soon.
All right, man. Make it a great one.
Thanks. Guys, that's Herb Howard from the Bigs talking football, man. I tell you, if I didn't have to go pick up the warden, man, we would have talked another 2 hours football because it got me fired up, man. And this is a football guy, all right? Football guy who knows football, played it. So we understand, we look at it different. And it's crazy. Like I hadn't talked to him, saw him Sunday at the game, but I hadn't talked to him. Like that's exactly my thought. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. is like that dude. You got to get him. All right, you got to get him. And we talked, and he tied it up with in a nice little bow. Like, what did Peyton Manning have? Even though he had Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison was a stud. He's a gold jacket wearer. He was wearing a gold jacket. But what did you still do? You went and got Reggie Wayne. And what? Now you got two jokers, two dudes that you gotta account for. Two dudes you gotta account for. I think that's the smartest play. Get a Hall. And again, if you want Marvin Harrison Jr., all right, so with the Hall you're going to get for the number one pick, you could trade that. I said, you're going to get 3 first-round picks. You're going to get the first round this year. You're going to get the first-round swap. You get a 25 pick and a 26 pick. If you want Marvin Harrison that bad, if you want him that bad, you could take that 26 pick, or you could take next year's second, another year's second, trade it back. You know what I mean? Like we have draft capital. We have draft capital. Ryan Poles is in a really good spot. Dude, that got me fired of hell up, man. Fired up. Ryan Poles is in a great spot. I envy him. I envy him because he's holding all the cards. He could trade back to wherever he wants. He don't have to trade back. He can sit there and he can literally say, if you ain't coming with 3 first-round picks, do not hit my phone. Do not call my God-blessed line. He can say that. He can say that. And we've also seen it, too, where he's going to want to get this shit done early. So come correct. Come with your best package. Pause. Come with your best trade package. Come with your best offer. And let's talk. Your best No negotiating. No. Come with your best offer. Because you're going to come with the offer. I'm going to counter. If it don't work, next. Like Jay-Z said, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And J2K, that's what I'm talking about, though. You can pay Jalen Johnson. When you get all these draft picks, everything is budgeted. That's the thing. Everything is budgeted. First round and second round. First round is 4 plus a 5th-year option. Second rounds are 4 years. Right? Mostly everything's pretty much 4 years. You can sign a boom like that. So you're budgeted. You know what you have, what you're spending, and you know what you have left to spend. That's the importance of this. That's the important. We have the money. He's done a great job. He's done a phenomenal job of keeping that salary cap pretty close to the floor. Went a little over Montez Sweat. Okay. Multiply. I got no problem with it. You're going to have to spend. It's the NFL. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that your 2 highest paid players are Justin Fields and Montez Sweat and expect me to be mad about it? Expect me to have an issue with your quarterback and your pass rusher being the 2 highest paid players on your team? You're crazy as a mug. I am more than okay with that. More than okay with that. I'm excited. Mr. Shorty, thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. See you Monday. Dude, he is. Like, just watching him and see in college, I understand the talent level is he's head and shoulders above the rest. Okay? But you put him on this team, can you double team him? Can you double team Marvin Harrison Jr.? You want to double team him? There's a guy named DJ Moore that you may want to deal with as well. This is why those dudes, you need dudes, not Jags, not just another guy. You need dudes. Because now you can't double team anybody. You can't. You have to play straight up. You cannot double team DJ Moore because Marvin Harrison Jr. will kill you. You cannot double team Marvin Harrison Jr. because DJ Moore will kill you. Hell, shit, DJ Moore might kill you even if a double team is there. J2K, don't even fucking start about next offseason. Man, we just build depth upon depth upon depth. Dude, in 3rd round, we go get a hard-hitting, a ball-hawking free safety. Say, hey, Ejax, listen, Papa, you got to take a pay cut or you out. We got this dude. We drafted this dude to take your spot. What's it going to be? And if Ejax is smart, like, you know what? Boom, I'll defer it. I'm going to show Ohtani this shit. I'm going to show Ohtani this shit. I'll defer it. I want to stay here. I'm fired up too, J2K. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. Hats off to Ryan Poles. Hats off to that front office. Man, 2 hours has come and gone. Holy shnikes. Hey, sorry about the time. If you saw, they said I was supposed to be on at 8 o'clock. So I did the show Wednesday in Michigan. All right. So I set it up. I set the show up, today's show in Michigan, but it was still, so when I got it, it says, oh, we see you're in Eastern time zone. So when I set it up for 9, it's cool, but it's 9 Eastern time and 8 here. And I was like, oh shit, I hope my peoples know. But hey, I appreciate it. I want to thank my guest, Herb Howard, for coming out talking Bears football with us. I want to thank you guys, man. You guys made this shit crazy. You guys are jumping in the freaking chat. My man Luis Mejia was in there, Cornelius, J2K, Brian Hendren in the Mickey Ficky house, Mickey from the left coast. Man, that's what I'm talking about, baby. This was a great show. And again, because of you guys have had this shit jumping, man. Jumping. My man Junior, Cornelius, Shawn, all right, Levette. Listen, have a great weekend, folks. All right, bear down. I'm excited. You know what? And from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, and my co-host, Adam Sencha Maya. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Enjoy it. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday. This show will be replayed today at 6. Smoke Fellows tomorrow at 12:15. We have the Second City Sports. I'm your boy, the Superback. I am out. Where'd you go? Where'd you go?